Yo, what is good, everyone? It is OJ here, PlayerEssence.com. Let's get right into this PE news segment. So, we have Pokken Tournament. The Hori Pro Pad cannot be used with other games. And this is somewhat of a bummer because this Pokken Tournament Hori Pro Pad is actually pretty cool looking. I'll have an image up for you guys. It has a nice big D-pad. It has the start buttons and the select buttons all kind of lined up out there in the front. Nice big A, Y, X, B buttons, triggers and stuff like that. And it's funny because one of my friends that actually likes playing Smash Bros. But wants to have digital controls was thinking, well, at least I was thinking that he might be able to use this controller for that game. But unfortunately, no. You can only use the Hori Pro Pad, the Pokken Tournament Hori Pro Pad controller for Pokken Tournament. Now, at this point, that's the only game that you can use it for. There might be games that you can use it for later because it does connect through USB on the Wii U, but for right now, that's the only game. You can actually pre-order the controller, and I think they have special packages and stuff. I think it's around $20 to $30 or something for this controller, but I mean, it looks really cool. I'm probably going to get it just so I can test it out with Pokken Tournament, but I'm pretty sure it should be able to support Pro Controller, and of course, you can use the gamepad, but I don't really like using the gamepad for fighting games. It's just a little too big for me, so I'll be picking up this controller just so I can review it, of course, on the site, and also so I can test it out versus the Pro Controller. And maybe if there's GameCube controllers. I don't think there's GameCube controller support, but maybe they'll have it, maybe they won't. That's that. Let's go ahead and let's move on to the next story here. And this one's actually kind of a big one. So Steve Okimoto, the senior manager of developer relations at Nintendo, third-party developer relations, has left Nintendo. He worked there for, oh my God, over 20 years. He worked there since 1991. And he actually became the manager of third-party developer relations in the GameCube and Wii and Wii U era, all of that. And as many of you guys know, those were probably some of the weakest eras for Nintendo's third-party support. Actually, if you want to be honest, Nintendo 64 it had weak kind of had weak third-party support, and the GameCube, I think it did better in my opinion as far as the games, third-party games and the games in general. But the Wii started out kind of weak, but then it got strong as far as third-party support goes because of how well it sold. But the quality of those third-party games is debatable, but it still had quite a bit. But the Wii U is by far Nintendo's biggest failure when it comes to third-party support. Support for the Wii U when it comes to third-party developer relations and the back and forth, it's just horrible. It's the worst it's ever been. The Wii U literally gets no major titles anymore. It doesn't get COD, doesn't get Assassin's Creed anymore, doesn't get Battlefield, doesn't get anything. I mean, it's just nothing's announced for the system. So I think this is a good time, I guess, for him to take his departure, and we'll see who they get next because this could be a big shakeup. Now, Emily Rogers reported this on Twitter, and she actually went to his LinkedIn and found out that he had moved on. Apparently he's with another company at this point, and Nintendo is going to find someone. And I think it's going to be very key to find someone that can get the job done, who can actually talk to these third-party developers. But I think the biggest thing is really Nintendo themselves. They got to make a system that's attractive to these third-party developers. They can't sit here and make a system to where you don't have good online connections. You can't sit there, you can't message your friends in a timely fashion. You can't pull up the dashboard whenever you want. You can't send voice chat. You can't do all that. You can't have a system that just breaks communication between players. You need to have a system that's fluent and just as feature-packed as the Xbox One and the PS4 if you want to get those type of games that heavily rely on social features, and you want to get those third-party developers that want a system that can connect people socially. You got to have a system that actually supports those type of things. So that's going to be the key going forward, and you're going to have a guy that can sell this to these third-party developers. So it's going to be interesting to see what goes about from Nintendo and who they get to fill his role. So we're going to move on to the last story here, and that is a nice story. I like this one. Very good. So EVO 2016, the big show, EVO. Yes, there's going to be a large representation of Nintendo games at EVO this year, but just an overall great slate of games. So let's go ahead and run down the lineup from top left all the way to the bottom right. So we have Street Fighter V for the PS4. We have Guilty Gear XRD Revelator. Really good game. My friend Andre from Play Action Gaming, he is going to be competing in that game. We have Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. That is the staple. People love Marvel still to this day, even though it's a few years old at this point. We got games even older that I'm about to talk about. But we have Newcomer Pokken tournament, which is going to be really weird. If you get really good, you can go there and probably compete and play. Although if the Japanese players come over, they might have a leg up on the American players since it's been out in Japanese arcades for some time and very few locations here, as far as the Dave & Buster's might have had like a location test or two. So Pokken tournament is going to be one of the lineup games. It's going to be very interesting to see how that game, as far as its performance and viewership goes. Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, I'm pretty sure I'll be competing in that, so hopefully I'll have this house bought and I'll be moved in by then, easily by then, so I can be able to get to there for EVO. Super Smash Bros. Melee, so 2 Smash Bros. Games. This was really good because I watched the video from Zero, the best Super Smash Bros. For Wii U player, and he was saying that the guy from Twitter, the guy who runs EVO or whatever, was trying to make it seem like, oh, what do you guys want, Smash Bros. Wii U or Melee? And they're trying to pit people against each other or something like that, and that would have been horrible if it was one or the other. Oh my gosh, that would have been so bad because there's already been civil wars. This is the Smash community. Like Zero said, I am part of that Smash community. I want to see Melee and I want to see Smash 4 both do well because they're both built from the same love and the same mind of Sakurai. So it's good to have both of those games. We have Killer Instinct making another return to the EVO lineup. Mortal Kombat X, very good. And we have Tekken 7 Fated Retribution, which just announced Nina Williams. So good stuff all around. A lot of good games. I cannot wait. EVO takes place from July 15th through July 17th at the Las Vegas Convention Center. Then the finals are on, I think, at a different one that's right next to it. The only one bummer also that I heard from Zero's video is that Super Smash Bros. For Wii U isn't going to be a Sunday like main tickets finals, as far as the grand finals or top 8. That's going to be Melee. I guess it's a little disappointing because I don't think that I would be playing then, but that day, but still, it would be nice to have it on that day with the other big games, but it is what it is. Melee is going to take that slot, so if Melee gets there, then Melee gets there. That is the old horse, the tradition, that Melee has that slot. So, you know, when you're a new game like Smash Bros. For Wii U, you gotta take a couple lumps and you gotta take a couple L's, you gotta take a couple backseat to your predecessors. So Melee has been around longer, so it gets that final spot. The grand finals will take place on Saturday. I hope I can get to there, but I probably won't. I don't know if I'm good enough, but I am going to compete as long as all things go according to plan. So let me know what you guys are most interested in watching or seeing at EVO. Let me know about Pokken Tournament as far as the Hori controller. Are you hoping that would have at least been used for virtual console games? I think it would have been nice for that because there is no analog stick on there, so it might not be able to be used for a lot of games, but I would at least think that it would be virtual console games you'll be able to use that, but it is what it is there. And we also have Steve Okimoto leaving Nintendo and how that's going to affect third-party developer relationships. I want to know you guys' opinion on that as well. So once again, sorry on my voice, guys. I'm still kind of getting over the cold, but as many of you guys probably can hear, it's much better than it was last time. So I should be fully recovered by next week, but I'm doing much better than I was before. And I want to thank everybody for all the get well wishes you guys gave me on my last couple of videos. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. Alright, so that basically wraps it up for this PE News segment. Make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content just like this going forward. And also subscribe to PlayerEssence for more news, reviews, trailers, tips, and tricks. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we will see you for the next video. Peace.